Hey everyone, it's time for some more Monster Hunter, and today I'm going to be trying to finish the crystal hunting quest so that I can get past the 4-star quests and get into the 5-star quests. I'm going to have to ask for some help from the community because I don't think I'll be able to do this on my own, at least not without a lot of trial and error and without it taking much more time than I really have right now. That said, without any further ado, let's get right into it. I just want to give a massive thanks to all of my Patreon supporters. This is the most direct way to support the channel, and they give me the motivation to keep going every day. I waited for a fair bit of time, but no luck. Seems like I'm going to have to try to solve this mission myself. Which is a little unfortunate, but sometimes people just don't have time to hop on, which is completely understandable. Still, I'm not really sure how much I'll be able to do here, but I'll certainly do my best. Now, the same thing as before applies. I forgot to get hot drinks again. So I'm gonna go ahead and just make a couple of steaks, and then after I make those steaks, I'm on to munch on one and sprint over to Area 11. Now, I am unfortunately struggling with going through the direct route where the Gen Prey are, so what I might do is something a little bit risky. Now, if I remember correctly, there should be Bullfango there, but I'm gonna try to go through the top. I think it's like Area 5 or 6 or something like that. I'll see in just a second as soon as I pull this menu down, but pretty much it's Area 3 that I'm thinking of. But most likely what's going to happen is there's either going to be Melinx or Bullfango through there. Either way, if there's Bullfango, it shouldn't be too bad, as long as I don't aggro too many at once, at least not until I get to the very end. And even if I do aggro a couple, as long as I try to stick to the edge of the map as much as I can, there shouldn't be too much trouble here. So it is looking like there's actually Vespoid here. So if there are Vespoid here, that's actually going to make things a lot easier. I mean, obviously there's a bunch of Vespoid here, but the thing about Vespoids is they usually have a hard time hitting you as long as you keep moving. So I'm going to try to go through this area. Now, most likely what's going to happen is just like how there's Velociprey in Area 5 until you actually leave the area and then go back through. There's probably going to be Bullfango here or something whenever I leave and then go back through the egg. So right now, there is Vespoid there. I'm not really sure if that is going to change, but yeah, I'll try to take the route through Area 3, because if I can manage to make it through, then yeah, that'll make it a fair bit easier. As is, the Vespoid do have one attack I'm worried about. It's where they kind of like swoop down to like bump into you, and it does like a micrometer of damage. It's a really weak attack. Vespoids are really weak enemies, but if they hit you with their stinger, they can paralyze you, which is where the main problem with them comes in, but also, any damage you take, no matter how small, as long as it flinches you, then it'll pretty much make you drop the egg. And even if it doesn't flinch you, normally, I think it'd still make you drop the egg. Well, I guess in this case, the crystal. So, I'm going to try to run through Area 3 and see if I can actually successfully do this. Oh, an Earth Crystal as well. So yeah, that's giving me a pretty good feeling about this. Alright, so the Quartz Ore, it's, like I said before, basically an egg. I'm going to try to take it through Area 3, because if I can manage to take it through Area 3, then I should be good to go. Now, like I said before, if you don't have a hot drink, your best bet is to basically try to sprint through this area as quickly as you can. Now, there's going to be a Gypsaurus on the map. I don't know exactly where it's going to be, but I'm thinking it might pop up in Area 3 first if I go through there, and then I'll probably go back down to Area 5. I hope not, but I'll certainly see what happens. Now, if the normal Monster Hunter... Oh, it's just going to be right there. Okay, cool. So if the normal luck stuff happens with Monster Hunter 1, where they just kind of want to be a little mean, most likely what they're going to do is... oh my goodness. Is pretty much put a Bullfango in Area 3, and then they'll just kind of mess you up that way. Because it'll be like, oh, you know, Vespoid should be easy to deal with, and then, you know, kind of kick your butt with the Bullfango. But as is, as long as the Gypsaurus doesn't manage to get a hit on me, I should be good to go. I just kind of have to hope for the best. I'm actually going to look away so that I can keep my camera right in front of me. Wow, that was definitely a jump scare. But yeah, so thing about having any sort of carry item is that the enemies hit pretty hardcore aggressive with trying to hit you, because they're like, you know, oh, well, now we want to make you drop this item and pretty much put you in the fail state, and that's pretty much their main priority. So yeah, they do get a lot more aggressive, but as you can see with these Vespoid here, as long as they don't do that swoop attack when they're too close to you, shouldn't have anything to worry about. Oh my goodness, so this is where the Velociprey moved to. So, with the Velocipray here, it's definitely going to be difficult, but I feel like the Genprey are harder to deal with in general, so I am pretty hopeful about this. I'll take Velocipray over Genprey any day, but you still have to be very careful because they will still leap after you and do that little nibble, and that can definitely mess you up. So you kind of just have to be careful and try to make the most of it. If you zigzag and put geometry between you and the enemy, yeah, it'll definitely increase your chances of successfully making through. However, unfortunately, I did get hit that time, and that did mess me up. So the thing about that jump attack is it does launch you, and not that it really matters any, but it does just waste more of your time in general. So I'm not really sure if these guys respawn. They probably most likely do, but I'm gonna kill a few of them just to be sure and see if they do respawn. Because if they don't, that'll make this easier, but if they do, well, hey, what can you do, right? Alright, so I did kill a few. It is looking like they do Whoa! It's looking like they do respawn. It looks like they're coming out the ground. What in the world? But as is, I'm just going to go ahead and charge through here, try to get back to Area 11, and just make the most of my situation. What I might have to do is try to go around the right side. I'll have at least one or two Velocipray on me, but it seems like they're really, they're really congregated on the left side of the map here. And it's not until you actually, like, start fighting them that they really start noticing you, because obviously when you're fighting enemies, you tend to move around the map more. Not really doing too hot, though. I'm getting chipped to death over here, so I'm probably just wasting my time, honestly. I need to go back and get the ports from Area 11. Something I do think is pretty dumb is that I think this is the second time in a row that I've come over to Area 10, and right as I leave the cave, that's exactly whenever Gypsaros has to show up, so definitely slightly annoyed by that, but everybody hates Gypsaros for a reason, right? He just does his best to be the most obnoxious and annoying monster as possible, right? Such as spitting poison at you, and then, you know, doing that. But as long as he doesn't, like, actually just charge, like, charge into me, then I'm not super worried. He's probably just going to keep spitting the poison, and he's going to run at me and then try to do the bite. Oh, yeah, so a charge like that. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what we don't want to happen. And the flying, of course, you gotta be careful because the wind pressure will make you drop the egg as well. So, yeah, Gypsaros, not a fun guy to fight in general, but hey, as long as you pretty much just keep your distance and try to kite him as much as you can, pretty much stay diagonal to him instead of, like, directly in front of him, then there shouldn't be too much to worry about. Vespoid, obviously, not a problem with net quests, just kind of gotta keep your distance, and they have a hard time catching up. But these Velocipray, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to go the long way around. Now, that one is definitely going to notice me from the start, and there isn't really going to be much I can do about it, but I'm going to try to go the long way around here. If I can manage to keep my distance and not get hit by this guy, then I should be pretty okay. But, of course, that one, he definitely, what was it? He predicted where I'd be, and he kind of just hit me there. That's definitely unfortunate. It's the thing about doing these quests alone. It's really difficult to really get your bearings and find a path that really works, because as soon as you get hit once, like as soon as you fell once, there isn't another person who can try a different path like right behind you. It's just you kind of have to go back and restart from the beginning. So as is, I'm getting pretty low on stamina. As soon as I get back into the cave, I'm gonna have to eat another well-done steak and then try to preserve my stamina. I'm thinking Area 3 might not be worth it. I'm probably going to go ahead and try to go through Area 5 again. Because even though there's Genprey there, it's definitely shorter. So if I can just manage to avoid the Genprey for... As long as I did the Velocipray that first time, honestly, I should be in the clear for the most part. Well, now that I've topped off my stamina, I can try to get through Area 5. If I can make it through Area 5, I should be in the clear. Area 3 has Velocipray instead of Genprey, but it's a bigger area. Area 5 is smaller, but it has Genprey instead of Velocipray. They're a bit more accurate, a bit more aggressive, and a bit harder to avoid in general. So it really is just kind of a pick and choose. Do you want an endurance match or a skill check? And I think the endurance match ain't really for me, so I'm going to try to go for the skill check. Thankfully, it looks like the Gypsaros isn't here for once, but knowing my luck, it's probably going to be in Area 5 waiting for me. If it is, I'm going to have to just leave and wait for him to leave, or at least try to predict when he leaves, but if he's not in Area 5, I should be okay. Then again, I guess he could also be in Area 2, and if he is in Area 2, well, I'm kind of boned there. Probably not Two-Bone, because I have made it past him holding this thing a couple of times already, but if he starts charging at me and I can't really get out of the way of either him or the poison he starts spitting around everywhere, then yeah, that could definitely be a problem. As is, I'm going to stop sprinting right here and let my stamina regenerate. There we go. I actually timed that almost perfectly. So now there's Genprey in the way. There's one there, and then a second one right over here. So I'm going to have to try my best to avoid it. All I really got to do is just stay diagonal to it, and obviously not get nibbled. Now, with as many of them as there are right now in the way, it's a bit more difficult to deal with, but like I said, as long as I can avoid getting, like, directly in front of them, if I can just... Oh, yeah, and there's Gypsaros. Yeah, it's definitely gonna make things harder, but as long as I'm not, like, directly in front of them, I should be in a much better position. However, with Gypsaros here, that is going to complicate things. I can try to sprint away. Oh, yeah. I can try to sprint away, and hopefully I should be good. Yes, I am good. Alright. I finally got one egg delivered. Woo! It looks like Gypsaros isn't taking that disrespect lying down, so yeah, he can show up here. If he does, you're kind of bones. As is, I'm just going to hope he doesn't charge at me and sprint straight for the camp. I think I should be okay to use all my stamina right now, so that is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to sprint away, and yeah, looks like I made it. So that is one quartz crystal that I can finally deliver. Now that I've gotten this one here, it's only been 10 minutes out of 50, so hey, theoretically, I should be able to make it. Oh, that is the wrong box. Hopefully, I don't do that again. Yeah, you gotta take it over to the red box over here. So, if you're wondering about the time jump, I just had to use the bathroom. So, whoops. As it is, it looks like I have about 15 minutes left of this quest, so I'm definitely gonna have to try to hurry and, get this done. It also looks like I'm pretty low on stamina, so I'm going to munch my last couple of steaks. Now, I might need to kill one or two of these Aptonoth up here so I can get some more raw meat for additional steaks, but as is, I'm going to try to make it through before the end of the time. If everything goes well, I should be able to just barely make it. Now, a part of me is really hoping I can track down the Gypsaros. It's probably going to be hanging out either in Area 3 or probably Area 4 or even 9. And it's probably just waiting for me to get the quartz egg and then it'll actually aggro onto me, but I'm hoping it should be in Area 10 once I get there, but it's probably not going to be. I really wish I could paintball it so I can know exactly where it is, but as is, I mean, all things considered, if I can just replicate what I did last time, I should be able to make it before the end of the timer, but if it gets to about 5 minutes left, and I'm like halfway through, if I'm like halfway through Area 5, and then, you know, I drop the egg and there's like 5 minutes left, yeah, at that point I will have to abandon the quest and try again, but here's hoping it doesn't come to that. As is, it's looking pretty good so far. I'm probably going to have to grab this quartz, and then whenever I get out, the Gypsaros will most likely show up right there. I'm not sure exactly how I was gone, but I'm thinking I was gone for... Not how I was gone, how long I was gone, but I'm thinking I was probably gone for about 10, maybe 15 minutes. So I'm hoping that this won't take too long, because I can't really afford any more mistakes, as is. I'm starting to wonder if a viable strategy... Yo, whoa, okay, well, fair enough. I was gonna say, I'm thinking that every time I grab this, the Gypsaros, the Spidey sense goes off, and I'm starting to wonder if a viable strategy would be to just kind of wait at the end of Area 10 just before Area 5 for Gypsaros to actually come over here, but as is, it looks like I don't even have to do that. Seems like Gypsaros is just ready to go from the get-go to just straight up harass me, but as is, I'm going to try to come over here, and if I can skirt around to the side. I'm not exactly sure which side has more Genprey, but I'm going to come over here. Now, this Genprey right here, as long as it doesn't get, like, right behind me, or any Genprey, like, right directly behind or in front of me, I shouldn't have anything to worry about. But, as is, you just kind of got to avoid that happening. So, I'm going to do this right here. Also, Gypsaros is here. Again, yeah, that is pretty unfortunate. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go ahead and paintball the Gypsaros. I probably got, like, maybe one more opportunity for a failure. And then if I fail, that's kind of it for me. Now, of course, this son of a gun would just immediately be aggroing onto me if I did have the quartz ore instead of, you know, just casually walking back, but that's okay. I'm going to see if I can give this one more good old college try, and if that doesn't work, then I am going to have to probably abandon the quest. I don't know, I could probably afford like one or two more mistakes now that I think about it, but If I have to fail the quest here, then I'm probably going to have to ask the community for help again and just kind of dig around and see what I can figure out. Because I'm definitely not in a good spot where I'm actually good at the game. My skill issues are paramount, and they're very noticeable. But hey, you just gotta try your best, right? Now, plus side of this is I did, of course, manage to ping the Gypsaurus with a paintball, so I'm not exactly sure when the Gypsaurus would start to notice me. It looks like it's flying off and then not flying off and then flying off again, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on there, but the biggest issue with Area 5 is trying to avoid, you know, getting directly in front of a Genprey to where it could actually jump on top of me, but as is, just gotta try your best, right? But my biggest thing with the Genprey is, obviously, if you do get, like, directly in front of one, they can jump on you and leap on you and, like, knock you over, and they do have, like, a little bit of leeway where they can slightly turn the air, but even so, I just gotta try to avoid them as best I can. Of course, you do want to be, like, diagonal with the Genprey at all times, like any Genprey that sees you. I'm starting to wonder if my best bet would be to just go straight down the middle. Because trying to go down the sides is definitely causing me a lot of trouble. Of course, the Gypsaurus is now here, so that's definitely a problem. But I'm just going to try to avoid getting hit by any of these Genprey, because obviously they're going to try to jump at me. If I can try to keep something between me and the other Genprey, my goodness, then I shouldn't have too much to worry about. Like this tree stump right here, it's definitely going to help a lot with at least a couple of them. But as is, I'm definitely not doing too hot right now. I only have a little bit of ways to go, though. I don't want to look back. I really don't want to look back. Okay, I should be A-okay. Now, the Gypsaurus might get a little upset at that disrespect. Yeah, and he's going to come right over here. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fly directly over here, because I don't want to do anything with Gypsaurus, or want anything to do with him in general. I don't want to deal with Gypsaurus, is basically what I was saying. Until Gypsaurus actually lands, I'm not too worried, but as soon as I hear his little cries saying he's turning around, because obviously whenever a monster turns, they kind of make these little sounds. That's really when the anxiety kind of kicks in. Thankfully, I managed to exit the area right as Gypsaurus started to turn. Now, I'm not sure how much time I got left. Looks like 9 minutes. So that one took about 6 minutes, and yeah, I don't have too much time left to go, so I'm going to need to hurry my butt up. So I probably have one more mistake left, and then that's kind of going to be it. As is, I'm going to cook, like, maybe one more well-done steak, and then once I actually get there, I'll eat it. Then after that, it'll just kind of be a sprint to the finish to finish this quest up. I guess there's no point in not using a first aid med also, because my health is a little low, but I'm not too worried besides that. I'm just going to go ahead and sprint over to Area 11, try to get the quartz ore, try not to die, and then hopefully I can make it back in one piece. But if I get to, like, Area 5, and let's say we have 5 minutes, I can probably do it with 5 minutes left. So that's pretty much going to be my leeway in terms of time. 5 minutes from Area 11 to Area 2, and then if it's any less than that, I'm going to have to abandon the quest, and I won't be able to make it, unfortunately. Still, it is looking like the whole, you know, go straight down the middle strat seems to be working for me so far. Better than the kite around the edge strat and then get bottled up against the wall and then get surrounded by Genprey and then get nipped at and then drop the quartz, of course. But even so, I'm just going to get out of my butt out of here, because I don't want anything to do with any of these guys. I'm going to need to hurry my butt up, though, because it's definitely unpleasant dealing with the swamp area in general. Now, there is one thing I didn't really consider. I am a little bit worried that Gypsaurus might camp out Area 10, although possibly not. Yeah, it looks like Gypsaurus is actually leaving, which is good. Although I'm worried Gypsaurus is going to Area 5. If it does, yeah, it's looking like it's going to Area 5, so it's probably just going to be camping out there waiting for me. I still have, oh my goodness, right at 6 minutes left to go. So yeah, I'm going to have to hurry. If I fell and drop the quartz this time, I'm just kind of out of luck. And that's why you have to make sure you don't have to use the bathroom if you're going to solo a quest, because this sort of situation can happen. It's definitely going to be a bit of a nail-biter, but hey, I'll make the best out of the situation. What I'm hoping will happen is that I can kind of take a leisurely stroll through this area, and then Gypsaurus will get a little impatient and then come towards me. But yeah, so it looks like Gypsaurus is starting to fly. If Gypsaurus heads this way, then I should be good to go. I'm not exactly sure where it's going, though. Oh, it looks like Gypsaurus is actually going to Area 2, which is going to be unpleasant for me, because I'm going to have to make it through Area 5. And then if Gypsaros is still in Area 2 when I get there, then, yeah, I'm kind of going to have to run past him. And he even de-aggroed, so it looks like Gypsaros is pretty intense on camping Area 2 and making sure I don't get through there. As is, I'm going to try to keep a diagonal path to these Genprey because I'm going to get pounced on if I'm not careful. As is, the same strategy applies. Just don't look, hope for the best, pray they don't manage to snipe you, and just try to zigzag as much as you can. Like that one, if I don't sprint right now, it's probably gonna nip me. So just gotta be careful and make the most of the situation. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so situations like that, they can just kind of reposition themselves, and if they manage to reposition, you're kind of in a bad spot. As is, this is kind of the make-or-break situation right here. I guess I'm not necessarily here, but whenever I actually get to Area 2. So yeah, this is definitely going to stink because the Gypsaros is here, and with the Gypsaros being here and knowing exactly where I am, I'm going to have to use all my stamina to try to make it past him without getting hits. Of course, he's going to start sprinting after me and then probably nip at me. Oh yeah, and that flash is definitely going to be a problem. So, okay, good. He actually didn't hit me, which is good. He's going to spit at me. Okay, yeah, this charge is exactly what I was worried about right here. Oh my goodness. Alright, yeah. Gypsaros kind of fucked it up for me, so I don't know. I'm a little upset. I'm definitely upset because I won't be able to finish the quest now, but I don't know. Let's just see how long it takes for me to, like, chase Gypsaros away. Because I'm not sure exactly how long it's going to take, but I do have a spear, and these are pretty overpowered. Alright, so it's looking like, as far as chasing Gypsaros off goes, what I can do is I can possibly kill him solo. Pretty much whenever I do a triple poke right up in his sternum, then he'll actually stun, which is a good indicator that I'm doing good damage to him. So I'm starting to wonder if killing Gypsaros might actually be the way to go. As is, if Gypsaros was in Area 2, I would have beat the quest. That's like an hour wasted, and that is quite upsetting for me. But as is, I'm going to reach out to the community one more time and see if I can get a hand with the next quest. If I cannot, then I at least have a strategy I can possibly work off of. Alright, so thankfully it's looking like two of my community members are actually willing to help this time. Both AJ and Jelly are their names on here. I had to ask again because I'm not very good at the game, it seems. Well, I wouldn't even say that. I actually think I did really well last time, and if I didn't spend however long I was in the bathroom using the bathroom, I actually think I could have done it. I was literally right at the end, and Gypsaros just kind of decided to kick my butt there, so that is quite unfortunate, but as is, I'm just going to take it on the chin and try to beat it this time. Now, since I got help this time, I'm definitely certain I'll be able to handle it just fine, but one of them actually gave me a very useful item. It's called Power Juice, and I believe it gives you infinite stamina, if I remember correctly. And the thing about that is that with infinite stamina, I won't really have too much to worry about, because my biggest issue last time was juggling my stamina consumption with the fact that the enemies could just kind of suddenly pounce on me, and pretty much just shuffling my way around them. So with infinite stamina, that's going to make this much easier. Especially with Gypsaros in the last area. If I had infinite stamina and I could have just sprinted the whole time, I would have had absolutely nothing to worry about, but even so, I'm just going to do what I can to make it through here without having too many issues. This should actually be fairly quick now that I do have two other people helping me out. Now, something I didn't really consider is technically if you want to infinitely mine some ores, and let's say, for example, you have an earth crystal and an iron ore in your inventory, and you want some more. What you could do is you could actually come here with a full pouch. Maybe you could have some garbage you could drop for the quartz ore afterwards, and you could just infinitely mine that one spot. And as long as you weren't getting the quartz ore, excuse me, as long as you weren't getting any other items where you had to like discard them, you could just very quickly infinitely mine. That's actually something I just realized because I forgot to empty my pouch, and my pouch was full. But what happened was I managed to get an earth crystal because I couldn't grab the quartz ore. And it doesn't make you discard anything whenever it says you got it. It just says, can't hold item, pouch full. And so you can get like quartz ore and earth crystals from there, then it is quite useful in the fact that you could just infinitely mine there. There is one strat with the coal quest. I believe it's to get coal for the Dragonator in the Volcano map. But it seems like this one's a bit more effective for specifically something like earth crystals or something else. Just like I said, with infinite stamina, I shouldn't have too much trouble getting around these Ginprey over here. What I'm going to do is I'm still going to try to kind of do an S shape instead of a zigzag more than anything, but there is still the issue where they can kind of like sidestep and then reposition themselves in order to get a hit on you, and they are quite effective at it. But even so, I'm not too worried just because of the fact that I do have infinite stamina now, so I could probably just outrun them, honestly. Yeah, they're all like back there, and I pretty much have nothing to worry about here. My biggest worry is going to be the Gypsaros in Area 2, because it is definitely going to be a problem here. Now, he is going to come in with that sweeping attack. Oh, I'm actually really surprised that Jelly didn't get hit by that, but even so, that flash attack, we're just going to look away, hope for the best. Oh, he didn't fall through with it. And now that he's doing this attack here, I'm going to try to sidestep him. And that's pretty much what was getting me before, but now that I have infinite stamina, I can just keep sprinting now that I've sidestepped him. There isn't really much you can do about it. Oh, except maybe a sweeping attack, which, oh, I thought he was going to do a dive bomb there. When I say sweeping attack, I do mean like a dive bomb. So, it is looking like we are pretty sorted. I'm not exactly sure how many are here. Okay, we already got one, so as long as AJ makes it, that should be the entire quest right there. So that's what I mean with these multiplayer quests. Even if you have just like one or two other people to help you out, that can make things infinitely better. Especially with 9 like Power Juice. I actually forgot it existed, I'm going to be completely honest. I was thinking, oh, maybe I should make some dash juice. And then I thought, well, I don't know how to make dash juice, and I really want to get this quest done today. So, I'm pretty happy about that. Pretty happy that we got this done. Yeah, I'm gonna cheer right with you, AJ. That first attempt was, it was tri-finger butthole for sure. Alright, I'm gonna call it right there. Thank everybody so much for watching, and big thanks to AJ and Jelly for helping me get through the quest that second time. Them being there definitely made it 100 times easier. I'm pretty sure if I tried going back and doing it again, especially with Power Juice, I could most likely do it, but having them other two people here, you know, after like developing a strategy as well, I kind of got the feel for, okay, this is where I should go, this is how I should take the flow of the quest, and they definitely helped me with getting it done in 1 cycle instead of 3 cycles. That said, if you do want to join me on these missions, I do have a Discord linked in the description below. I do have a pretty active community of people. We do regularly play Monster Hunter games from across all games and all eras of Monster Hunter, across multiple emulators, really. And the thing with playing on the PS2, these PS2 ones, you can actually play on original hardware. You just have to mod it. Still though, if you do want to support the feature of the channel, check out my Patreon linked in the description below. That way I can manage to get over my skill issues. Bye now.